I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Chicago Bulls. And now time for the call by Kevin Harlan from United Center as they get ready for the opening tip.
Just earlier, the fans on their feet as the national anthem rang out throughout the arena. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. And to tip off opening night, let's check out the starting lineups. First, for the Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving is out there with Iman Shumpert. And inside, Anderson Varejao, the big Brazilian, a terrific rebounder and defender, always brings great energy. And it's LeBron James, and it's Love in at the 4. And for Chicago, D. Rose and Jimmy Butler, the back. And down low, the two-time NCAA champion at Florida, the 6'11 tornado of energy and effort. It's the big man, Joakim Noah. Then there's Dunleavy, and it's Gasol at the power forward position.
Now, one spot the Cavs did struggle with last year was help off the bench. They were last in the league in bench scoring.
Cavs not scoring with a lot of their bench. A big part of that is they just didn't go to their bench very often.
Well, you talk about the Cavs and the bench near the bottom in total bench minutes played. The bench didn't have a lot of firepower, didn't shoot the ball well, and considering they got limited minutes, oftentimes struggled to find any kind of rhythm out there.
Now here's Rose. Back to Gasol. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long Clark as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
That free throw good from Gasol.
And with Pau, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds.
Both free throws good from Gasol.
And a final point, guys, with Pau's career game. It's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
Now here's Shumpert. Dishes to LeBron. 5 on the clock. Love with the bucket.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Send it over to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach David Blatt. Doris?
One player he said he's worried about in this game is Pau Gasol. He said with his length and touch, it's really hard to bother that shot. We're going to try to be physical with him, body him up early, and deny him position. And guys, that's what a lot of teams try with Gasol. Force him to really battle through contact. We'll see how it works.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Irving attacking, and the layup's good off the glass. Irving's got his first points of the night.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
And it's Kevin Love with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Already his second foul. He's in danger of getting into serious foul trouble early in this game.
And Cleveland making a change here. Thompson's checked in. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. And it's Rose penetrating. He kicks it to Noah. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Rose. Good, and a nice assist from Noah.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Moving against Rose. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter.
And you really thought that was going to be a gimme, but unable to convert.
Yeah, and a little self-talk, angry self-talk for himself after that miss.
Now here's Butler. There's the pick. The pass to Gasol. Kicks it to Rose. And it's sent back by Irving. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. He passes to Shumpert. Back to Irving. Three-pointer. Again, Irving missing. Bulls have had a great rebounding team for a long time now. Last season was no different.
It has so many categories to measure how well a team rebounds. The Bulls were in the top 3 in almost all of them. I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Now here's Rose. Dunleavy for 3, and that one's good.
As for the Bulls in rebounding, I mean, they were second in the league in winning contested rebounds. That's another data analytics stat for you folks. Second overall in total rebounds, too.
Here's LeBron. The Bulls knocking down the 3. Back to Varejao. He got right to the cup using that screen.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Outside Rose. He dishes it to Butler. Back to Rose. Right side Rose. With the fadeaway. Rose can't get that one to fall.
And with the big men the Bulls have, it's easy to see why they rebound so well. But make no mistake, guards and bigs alike rebound well on this Bulls team.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. 1:56 left to play here in the first. Pass to Gasol. Outside Butler. It's blocked. LeBron against Noah. Here's Irving. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
And taking a look here at the numbers on Pau Gasol. Last season, he played outstanding. 3rd in rebounding, 9th in blocks, and amongst the league's top-tier scorers, top 20 in points per game.
And as you said, a top 3 rebounder last year. He just seems to know how the shot's going to come off the rim and always hustles to get there.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Here, matched up against Cleveland, is how they'll kick off the new season.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year, they came out on the losing end.
And, you know, with 2 teams in the upper pyramid in the early going, important to establish that pecking order, especially within your conference. So this game is important.
1:35 left in the first quarter of the game. Brooks against Williams. The drive by Brooks. To the paint. Here's Portis. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That one on Mozgov. Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly, eventually pulled it together, and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
He hits both from the stripe.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs.
Now here's Jefferson. Lock at 6. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. The 3 from LeBron. That's good. LeBron's got 5 points so far.
This has been a thriller. You cannot say enough about the way these two teams have competed.
All indications, Greg, are that this game is going down to the wire. I mean, I'd be surprised, actually shocked, if it ended any other way.
Mirotic gets the bucket. Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Give and take, back and forth, the whole way thus far.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes, 6 already.
Now here's Williams. Now the feed to LeBron. Count the bucket. He has 7.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always.
Chicago trailing here. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Brooks outside. And Gibson kicks to Brooks. A three-pointer, no good. And here is LeBron. He's got 7. Outside Jefferson. The drive by LeBron. And Gibson sends it back. That's the end of the first quarter and not much scoring. It remains close. Cavaliers ahead, leading by just 1. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment.
Bring your costume. It's Halloween in the NBA. DeMarcus Cousins and the Sacramento Kings take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers live this Saturday night.
Now we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And from what you guys have seen so far from Cleveland, what's your take?
This is almost like a volleyball game when you watch just how many shots they blocked or altered.
Well, how about this? A lot of side out for them, the way they swatted shots away. That's a volleyball term, by the way, folks.
Yeah. Or handball.
Like or handball.
Yeah, either one of the two. They're knocking a lot away.
Yeah.
Smith with it. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Dellavedova from outside. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Dellavedova's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Cavs.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer. Was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Cleveland's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Back to Jones. Mozgov sets a screen for Jones. And Gibson over to help. Smith kicks to Mozgov. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. And in front of you now is a list of the players with the highest shooting percentage last season. 4th, Timofey Mozgov.
Well, I tell you what, this guy probably did not want the season to come to an end. The way he was shooting the ball, he wanted to keep going.
And here are the Bulls now. They trail by 1. So it's off to Brooklyn after this game as they have the Nets to look forward to. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. Guys, what a wild first half this has been.
I'd say, 8 lead changes, that speaks for itself.
Wow, back and forth start, that's for sure.
Dellavedova, the pass to Smith. Outside, Jones lets it go from deep. Here's Mozgov. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Cavaliers.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. Doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Pau Gasol is checked in for Chicago. Etuan Moore comes in for Aaron Brooks.
And listen, Cleveland were the favorites to win the Central Division last season. High expectations given they finished 3rd in the Central in 2014. But that's just what adding LeBron can do for a team.
Hinrich outside. And it's Moore penetrating. Hinrich kicks to Mirotic. Again, Chicago. Cleveland did win the Central, as you alluded to, won 11 in-division games against what was a very tough division.
No easy opponents in that Central Division last year. 3 teams in the playoffs, and 1 was knocking on the door. The Cavs did what they needed to do to bring home the banner. Well, we've got a moment to look back at last year's Bulls. 3rd in rebound, 3rd in free throw percentage. And they also showed up in the top 5 in blocks. A good, solid team at the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, and going back to their rebounding, very few teams could outmuscle them inside. The size and toughness to scrap for every carom off the backboard.
Tony Snell's checked in for Chicago. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Love with the screen on Heinrich. Off the pick. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Chicago was as strong as they would have hoped for last season at home in the United Center. A lot of big wins for them here.
Yeah, and despite all the injuries, they go 27-14 at home, and that helped to assure them of home court in the first round of the playoffs.
He misses the free throw.
You know, you look back on the Bulls' record last year with 27 home wins. That's pretty solid. Same exact total as they had the year before. They haven't gone below 500 at home since 2008.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Mirotic. And the second free throw, good.
And a big part of why the Bulls are tough at home is this crowd. I mean, sold out every game last season. Led the league in total attendance for 6 straight seasons, averaging over 21,000 fans per game.
And, you know, guys, Taj Gibson now is 6 full seasons in the NBA. Already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, you know, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
Iman Shumpert's checked in for the Cavaliers. And he makes the first but misses the second. And for most of his career, Taj Gibson has been a tremendous role player up front. G8, he's been extremely steady over 6 full seasons.
And Kevin, he gives you a lot of energy and athleticism when he enters the game. He's got the great length with that 7'4" wingspan. But to me, it's not just about having it. It's about the fact that he utilizes it. And it really allows him to get in there and attack the backboard and contest shots.
Moore dishes to Brooks. Back to Moore. Passes it to Gasol. Out to Brooks. From deep. The rebound by Kevin Love.
Yeah, you know, talking about Gibson, he started 70 games his first year and made the all-rookie team. But thereafter, it had been mostly a 6-man off the bench through last season. It happens, but it's still somewhat unusual for a guy to go backwards like that.
Dellavedova kicks to Smith. Some nice passing by Cleveland here. Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often.
The Cavaliers shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here.
And they were 75% from the line a season ago. And talking about Gibson, if he ever wants to be seen as a high-level starter, he needs to work on a few things. More bankable moves in the post, a more fluid post game, if you will, and really increased strength and consistency. I think those things will carry him to that starting 5.
Here's Mirotic. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Well, what a season it was for Mirotic last year. Came on stronger for the Chicago Bulls. Continued to improve. Effective in the playoffs. Really a joy to watch in his first year.
And interesting, so much hype going into the season was about Dougie McDermott.
Yes.
And whether or not he was going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year. And it ended up being Mirotic. Most years, he could have walked away with that award.
And so Mirotic nails both of them. Cleveland with a very strong year last year. They were a very solid team on the road, as most LeBron-led teams are.
Yeah, he's a special guy in terms of how he can elevate other players. Didn't start out hot on the road, but eventually got it together and ended up 22-19 away from home. Once he gets inside like that, even an excellent defensive effort isn't enough.
And back to the Cavs and their road play. Teams with a lot of new players coming in can struggle early. It's especially evident when playing on the road.
On the free throw, no good.
Talk about being streaky on the road. That's what the Cavs were. I mean, could rattle off 4 wins on the road in a row, then come back empty from their next road trip. They did seem, though, to get stronger and more steady as the season went on. That's some more rugged play from them inside. They have a decent edge in rebounds thus far.
And all that hard work on the boards needs to continue, because that potentially may swing the game.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
The drive by Brooks, and the shot is good. Brooks has got 4 points in the quarter. The Cavaliers leading by 3. Outside Irving. Love with the screen for Irving. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Irving's got his second basket of the night. The Bulls have gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And injuries once again were a central theme of the Bulls season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Poke loose. LeBron against Noah, and it's blocked by Noah. Outside Butler. He feeds it to Rose. Takes the lead pass, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. With a pause in the action, let's show you the teams that were best from the line last season. The Bulls third.
You know, it's interesting when you look at this team, Kevin. I mean, they found a way to get their whole team to knock down free throws at a consistent level. I mean, a team that can't make free throws, that's a huge liability and one you don't want to deal with. They'd like to repeat their success at the line this year.
Just 4 to shoot. 3 on 3. Shumpert passes to LeBron, and he uses both hands to jam it in.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Fires, high post, and that one goes long.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And, guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Here's Rose, and it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And we've reached halftime in this one. The Cavaliers lead by 7. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. second half about to start up and begin any moment. What can you say? LeBron James, what an impressive effort today.
You just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little more assertive. Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
Here's Rose. Yes, and the foul. That's on LeBron James.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
And that's not all there is to say about him, Steve. I mean, he also is a master of the pick and roll. Get the ball in his hands and set a screen for him, and there will be an easy bucket after.
The free throw drops for Rose. Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, the 111 first place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. We know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history?
You know, looking back to Rose's MVP award, his stats were on another planet that year. He was only the third player to record 2,000 points and 600 assists in a single season since 1973. The other two, LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
First free throw is good.
You know, in talking about D. Rose, I don't think the individual awards mean much to him. He's about trying to help his team win championships. And that's the kind of mindset he has to continue to display.
Both free throws good from Kevin Love.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
Butler attacking. The kick out to Rose. Shot from free throw range. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Rose has got 7 points in the game. As you said, the Cavs put a lot of pressure on themselves because of the trade. You could see it affect the way they came out of the gate.
And you know, it was just night and day, Kevin, when the Cavs began to relax and click. I mean, a total transformation and turnaround. They would go 19-20 in the first 39 games, and then 34-9 over the rest of the season once those guys gelled and got locked in.
Bulls trail by 6. Back to Gasol. Leads him in there. And there's Joakim Noah on the assist by Gasol. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Timeout called, Cleveland.
Let's take them back. Yeah, 94. As the preacher takes the pulpit, fix your coat, prepare for 40 below spit. 7 days of heaven.
And here we can check out the story on Kyrie Irving. Last year, getting it done. 9th in scoring, 12th in three-point field goal percentage, and he'd make you pay every time he went to the line. Top 20 in free throw percentage.
And back to his points per game average last year, he literally propped up the team's offense whenever they needed it.
Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. Feeds it to Love. Releases and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
You know, the Cavs had a slow start to last season compared to how everybody thought they would play. Still, it was the best start for Kevin Love in his career and would end up being the most winning team he's played on. Says something about how long he's waited for success.
That free throw good from Kevin Love. And Love, who would also go on to make his first postseason appearance, played in the first round last year. It was a complete 180 for him in what he was used to at Minnesota.
And even though there were ups and downs for Love last season, you know that he must have enjoyed winning for a change. And being in the league so long without making the playoffs, he finally got a chance to play in the postseason.
Boy, I tell you what, he does not look like your typical big man up there at the line. He has an excellent stroke and a percentage to match.
Butler dishes to Gasol, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Pau Gasol was the #3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
Talking about Pau and brother Mark, both of them were excellent last season. The difference is that Pau has always been considered a great prospect, so detractors are much harder on him when they see cracks, I think, Greg, in his game.
Yeah, you know, for Marc Gasol, it can only exceed expectations because they started out so low. I'd simply say that if I had to pick between one or the other for best career, I'd do everything I could to pick both.
Good way to get out of it. Good answer. Here's LeBron, and they cash in right away with the quick shot. LeBron's got 17.
And his stroke has been dead on from the outside. I mean, inside, outside, it just doesn't matter.
Rose kicks the butt. Pass to Gasol. Takes it from 10, and Thompson sends it back. On the wing, Shumpert, defended by Butler. There's the dish to Irving. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. LeBron's got 3 assists now in this one.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
Shumpert against Butler. Dishes it to Dunleavy. Shot clock at 6. No one covering. Dunleavy's got 5 points so far.
And I also want to point out how good he is at positioning himself defensively near the bucket. He knows how to draw a charge.
Love with the screen on Rose. And that one's good, Irving. And the Cavaliers lead by 9.
Drop that one in as soft as a feather using the finger roll.
Chicago calls timeout.
And for Kyrie Irving, it had been a long time coming. Last season, he finally played in his first postseason with the Cavs. And up until the unfortunate injury, he certainly made the most of it.
Anderson Varejão's checked in for the Cavaliers. Jefferson comes in for LeBron. The Bulls have gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. Rose kicks to Butler. The pass to Gasol. Back to Butler. He passes to Mirotic. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Mirotic has got 11. And think again about the playoffs last year, Clark. They weren't all sunshine and roses for Irving. He had to play through a tough leg injury in the conference semifinals, and, of course, the injury in the finals, the fractured kneecap, and he was gone.
Yeah, that was really painful to watch, seeing him go out for the rest of the playoffs with that fractured kneecap. A freak injury, but he'll grow from it and be better.
And he gets the bucket. Williams has got his first basket. There's a minute 47 left here in the third quarter. Outside Rose. Gasol setting the pick for Rose. Back to Mirotic. 6 to shoot. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
They are really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
The defensive backcourt has been controlled. They have not allowed a lot of second chances. It's been about one and done for the most part. And I'm not talking about leaving count.
Yeah, I know you're not. That's a bunch of good rebounding taking place there, boy.
They get it again.
Kevin, I've got a chance now to look at where the Cavaliers ranked in the NBA last season. 5th in three-point field goal percentage. 8th in scoring. And they were a top 10 team in field goal shooting. Pretty impressive.
And talking about their three-point percentage, really a hallmark, I think, of successful offenses in today's NBA. And they use that shot to a devastating effect all season long.
That free throw, no good.
And last season was one where Tristan Thompson transitioned from a starter to a bench role, didn't let the move bother him, and still put up solid numbers off the bench.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Kevin Love's checked in for Varejão. LeBron comes in for Richard Jefferson. And it's Iman Shumpert in for Kyrie Irving. And he's good on the second. Alfred Thompson, he was great off the bench. You're right, Greg, for the Cavs last year. Even earned some Clark's 6th Man of the Year consideration votes.
And deserved it because of how he played and his impact. He actually had his best year in terms of shooting efficiency. Got a career high 55% from the floor.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount. I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
Mirotic passes to Dunleavy. He kicks it to Heinrich. There's the 3, and he gets it to go.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
LeBron outside. The 15-footer, good on the shot. LeBron's got 19 points. Back to Mirotic. 3 seconds left. Good, and Heinrich gets the assist. And that's 13 points for Nikola Mirotic.
There's got to be some defensive help there. I mean, the size difference is just too great.
And here at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Cavaliers ahead, leading by 10. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment.
It's a Halloween broadcast of the NBA. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors go up against Anthony Davis and the New Orleans Pelicans. Don't miss out.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The 4th quarter of play should begin momentarily. Bulls trail by 10. Outside Rose. Double team on Rose. Gasol. Into Noah. That is good. Noah's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for the Bulls. The Cavaliers leading by 8. LeBron outside. Kicks to Love. He dishes it to Irving. Drains it from beyond the arc.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
Chicago's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Noah with a screen for Rose. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one, that's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
LeBron dishes to Irving. Pass to Varejao. Shot clock at 6. Varejao setting the pick for LeBron. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. LeBron's got 21.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Chicago calls timeout. Not much more is there to say about LeBron James, Clark. Incredible consistency, unbelievable athleticism. He just is a marvel in every way the longer he plays.
Kevin, when you look at his career averages, I mean, just off the charts, and he has the same unbelievable year every year. The consistency, phenomenal.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He was definitely not pleased. He said, you guys look lethargic out there, and told them they've got to increase their activity level. He ended the huddle by saying, this is not going to get the job done. I want to see who's going to step up.
Rose attacking. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Rose has got 9 points now in just the second half.
In talking about LeBron's consistency, it's not just a physical effort. It's also a mental one. I mean, you know you're targeted by the defense all game. That'll wear down even the best players. How is it that LeBron's armor just never seems to be penetrated?
Timeout called the Cavaliers. The short rest, very important, and one of the benefits of this part of the game is getting on the same page with your team while having the chance to hydrate with Gatorade. Replenish your energy for the late game push. And it's out of bounds to the Cavaliers as Cleveland retains possession.
You know, on the topic of LeBron, one of the few areas where he could improve consistency in is from the three-point line. 3 years ago, he hit over 40% from downtown. 2 years ago, 38. And last year, down to 35.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Kevin Love. The kick out to Irving. Back to Shumpert. A three. And it's Dunleavy with the rebound. Dunleavy's got his third rebound tonight. Butler attacking and stolen by LeBron. And now the Cavaliers. Fast break. And it's slammed in by Varejao.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Noah kicks to Gasol. Noah with a screen on Thompson. Gasol's shot is good.
And he's been passive today, but maybe that's what he needs to get him going, because for them to be successful, he's got to be a little more selfish.
LeBron kicks to Varejao. Varejao setting the pick for Irving. The feed to Thompson. Shumpert. Cleveland moving the ball around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's LeBron with the drive. Mike Dunleavy is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Love's checked in. Irving's shot is good.
It's really been a tale of two halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
Now here's Rose. Noah with a screen for Rose. Double team on Rose. Outside Butler. Back to Rose. The Cavaliers pull it in. Varejao's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Irving kicks to Shumpert. Love with the screen for Shumpert. Drains the three-pointer.
Add another triple to their second half total.
They came out of the break just dropping bombs and just not letting up at all.
Rose against Irving. Rose passes to Noah. Can't hit from in close.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the board.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
Love dishes to Shumpert. Pass to Irving. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Irving's got 7 points for the quarter.
We're seeing him bring that shooting percentage up now, guys. The first half was a struggle for him.
And it's Rose penetrating. Left side Rose. He feeds it to Gasol, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play. So we'll see Pau Gasol at the free throw line here. That one on Love.
At the line for the ball,
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Gasol, no good on the free throw.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Jones, no luck.
And, you know, coaches just love players who they can count on to give that effort defensively.
And he clearly is one of those guys, Greg. We saw it right there. Nice work forcing that miss.
They clearly look like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got some energy out on the floor.
Yeah, but it's come a little too late to have a real impact on the game, though. We call this box score window dressing. All it's going to do is make the numbers look a little better than it was.
Smith tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Heinrich from outside. Shot is off. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And that'll do it for this inaugural game of the NBA season. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. Now, let's check out the Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.